What if I tell you this zip file right here allows me to find an account takeover vulnerability that affected millions of accounts in one of the most famous social media platforms that you are using right now. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you go to hackers.space, which is my platform, if you want to practice about ethical hacking and bug bounty or web hacking in general, you can go here and practice some labs, and also we have some courses. So we come back and look for rookie media. So this is just like a lab that I have made from my previous report, and actually this vulnerability alone allowed me to make $5,000 just by finding this account takeover vulnerability. So let's just go back right here. I already have the lab running, so I'll just kill the lab and let's just run it. So basically I'm gonna tell you what it was, like some simple idea. So the lab right here is like a playable ad review. As you can see right here, we having playable ad review. And what I mean by playable ad review, have you ever been into an application that you're trying to browse or whatever, then it shows you an advertisement. So this advertisement is not just like a picture or a song or a video, it's a playables. For example, you have a game, then you can click a button or you move some boxes, then when you finish this game, it's gonna redirect you into the website or redirect you into the Play Store or App Store or whatever it is. So that was the case right here. So that was like an advertisement, or like, for example, let's just say a subdomain for advertising, and I found this exact functionality, and I have to do like a sandbox bypass in order to find this cool vulnerability. Let me show you exactly what I mean by this. So you can see right here, we are allowed to upload some zip file. For example, you can see zip must include an index.html. This index.html is the one who's going to be displayed for the user. For example, what I did is, let's just go back right here. So let's just, for example, create a directory and let's just name it, for example, lab. Make a directory, I'm going to name it lab. Then we're going to get into this lab right here. Then what we're going to do it next is we're going to try to create an index.html. So let's just do nano index.html. So the first thing, when I saw index.html, I focused on uploading a malicious file, which is like a file upload vulnerability. And I was not able to bypass this by maybe uploading a Python script or a PHP or something like this. I was not able to do this, but I was able to only upload HTML inside a zip file. So let's just do, for example, a normal script. For example, let's do image source right here x on error, something like this, some basic HTML or something basic XSS payload, and let's just save it and let's just go back right here. Let's just make sure our payload is in there, index.html, and you can see it's here. So now the next phase is gonna make this into a zip file. So if you're gonna try, for example, make this only index.html, we cannot do it. We need to have like a zip file. So that way we need to be using, for example, zip, and we're going to do, for example, lab.zip.index.html. I'm going to click enter, and now we just generated a lab.zip. So we're going to click and upload the zip file. You can see we have this one right here. If you're going to click it, you can see right here that we have blocked. So which means that we are blocked and we cannot actually upload this. And you can see right here, my XSS tried to be running, but nothing happened because I am blocked right here. So basically that was the preview of the application. But then I was thinking, okay, so why it's blocking? You can see right here, it blocks obvious alert and fetch and sync payload. So this is what my thought. I said, okay, why it's blocking my alert HTML, or why it's blocking my XSS payload? So I thought they having some regex. So what I mean by regex, they have some expression they look for, and if they find it, they block you and they suspect you as you're trying to run a malicious code, and you are not allowed to make this advertisement live for the users. So basically now our goal, what we're trying to achieve, is upload a malicious file. Then this file is going to be like an advertisement that's going to be showing for millions of users. So imagine you're scrolling through this application, then you're going to see a login page. Imagine this, you're going to see, like, for example, a Facebook login page or a TikTok login page, or for example Instagram login page. We don't know, so I cannot actually disclose what kind of program is this, but that was the case. So if I was able to upload like malicious XSS, I can steal the cookie, or I can actually force it to like steal the credentials of the user. So that was the case right here. So So instead of just doing HTML like index.html or alert1, let's just try to obfuscate it and make it not have like any malicious code that we're trying to do. And the only way you can actually do this in the JavaScript is by using base64 and obfuscate this code right here. So for example, if we're gonna do nano and we're gonna do index.html and we're gonna come back and we're gonna remove everything that we just deleted, and we're gonna click enter. As you can see right here, what we have is we have a payload, and this payload is base64. If we're gonna copy it and come back right here, and we're gonna do echo, and I do like this, then we're gonna try to do base64 and decode it. You can see, all right, so I think I did 74, it should be 64. Then we're gonna decode it. You can see that I have alert1. So if I want, for example, I want this to be, for example, any other malicious code, what I should be doing, I just should be doing something like this. It's just a normal base64. So I'll just do alert 100 or something like this. It can be like stealing the cookie or whatever, but that was the case. So for example, alert 100, and we're gonna replace this. We're gonna come back into our HTML. You can see right here, this is the script. We need to be having like a script tag right here, like a script tag, and also on the top. So let's come back and do a script tag. We gotta be doing script tag, and here we need to be closing that script tag right here. Control O and save this file, and we're gonna come back. So now we need to also regenerate a zip file, and we're gonna click enter and try to upload it. So for example, if we're gonna try to upload it in the lab, you're gonna see that I have the flag number 1, which means that we just bypassed the static number 1. This is the static scan. But if we're gonna try to do run sandbox preview, it's gonna try to like do or run this malicious index.html on the sandbox. It's still getting detected, but we just bypassed the first regular expression filter, but we still have to bypass the sandbox, which is an isolated environment that's our code is gonna be running into this isolated environment. If it's safe, you're gonna be into the public. So I was thinking, okay, so it's trying to run my code and see if anything happen. If something don't happen, it's just gonna accept it. And if you know about like how malicious viruses or how malware actually work, and how to actually bypass antiviruses, or how to bypass these firewalls, what you will do to bypass these sandboxes, one of the techniques is to just wait. Just go into these sandboxes. So the antiviruses basically, they will get this malicious file, they put it into a sandbox, and just let it run and see at the behavior of it. Maybe if it's trying to get a reverse show, or maybe it's trying to make it, for example, delete a file, and see the behavior of it. If nothing's happened, they're just gonna see this file is normal, is not a virus. And attackers thought of a way basically is to try to actually delay the process. For example, the sandbox is going to try to run our malicious code, but he's going to try to do anything, but our malicious code is not doing anything malicious. So what's going to happen next is, after the period or after this bypass, our code is trying to run after 5 seconds, which is going to be bypassing the normal wait for the sandbox. So what's going to happen, you're gonna be uploading a malicious index.html, then we're gonna wait. We're gonna make a set timeout, and this set timeout is gonna be running our JavaScript code after 5 seconds. And this is how I'm going to do it. So for example, if we're gonna go to the phase 2 right here, and we have an index.html code. So that's index.html. What I wanna do is I wanna play it. Let's just do code index.html. So you can see what is happening right here. So we just loaded this HTML, nothing is happening, but let's just wait for 5 seconds. So as you can see, there is an alert1, which is supposed to be like bypassing the wait time for the sandbox. To bypass it, then we're gonna run our malicious code. And this is our trick, and this is the thoughts behind what I'm saying. So if we're gonna come back into our lab right here, and try to upload the second file, which is going to be the phase number 2 zip file, and we're going to run it, and we're just going to do run sandbox preview, and here you can see it's trying to have a 5-second preview, then it shows alert1 sandbox bypass. So that was the trick that I have found, and basically now what I mean by sandbox bypass, now when I I am allowed to actually bypass the verification or the malicious code verification. I am allowed to advertise my code for millions of users. They're gonna see my malicious code into their feed. Like you're scrolling into your application, that you're gonna see a malicious code that will actually steal a cookie. Maybe, for example, like show you a fake login page that requires you to log in, or for example, an autocomplete that will steal your email and password and send it to the attacker. So that was actually the technique that I have found into this application. If you want to practice the lab, you can find it on hackers.space, and also you can find more labs to actually practice on. For example, if you're going to come back to hackers.space, you can see we're having a lot of labs to practice. You can see we have over 60 labs right here, and we have a leaderboard so you can actually practice and get some challenges to solve with other hackers. So go ahead into hackers.space, give it a visit, and hope you like it. And that's it for today's video. Please click the like button and subscribe button. And if you have any question, any misunderstanding you did not get, you can actually ask me on the comment section. I will reply to everyone. And thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.